The repair presented in this video is performed on a particular frame style. The look of the console or the cosmetic plastics is irrelevant to how this repair is made, as long as your machine's frame style is closely similar to that shown in this video. Be sure to unplug your machine before attempting this repair, and do not use power tools to make the repair. There are two wire harnesses that can be replaced on an elliptical, the lower wire harness and the upper wire harness. Depending on the problem, one or both may need to be replaced. However, to replace either one, several components must be taken off the machine. Using a standard screwdriver with a thin tip, gently separate the plastic cover over the top right-hand axle on the upright. This cover should just pop off. Next, remove the screws that hold the underside of the plastic cover over the right-hand axle on the upright. Now, using an Allen wrench, remove the screw and washer that hold the right-hand upper body arm and leg to the axle on the upright. Leave the upper body arm and leg on the axle for now. Now, with the Allen wrench, remove the screw and roller arm cover that hold the right-hand roller arm to the axle on the crank pedal. Once these arms and legs are free, carefully remove the whole armature from the right-hand crank axle. If the bushings on either axle come free, set them aside so they will not be lost. Now remove these arms and legs on the left-hand side of the elliptical following the same steps. In order to gain full access to either wire harness, you will need to remove the plastic covers that house the crank pulley. First, remove the plastic shield cover cap and the shield cover located above the crank pulley at the base of the upright. Next, using a standard screwdriver with a thin tip, gently remove the discs that cover the right and left crank arms. These should just pop off easily. Then remove the screws that hold the left and right hand side shields together and remove the side shields. We will first demonstrate how to replace the lower wire harness. Remove any zip ties holding the lower wire harness to the frame and separate the connectors to the upper and lower wire harnesses. Press down on the plastic catch and they should slip apart easily. Now separate the three connectors on the bottom end of the lower wire harness and remove the ground screw. Once the ground screw is out, you can remove the old wire harness. Attach the connectors at the top end of the replacement wire harness and zip tie the new wire to the frame to keep it away from moving parts. If you do not have zip ties handy, you can tape the wire harness to the frame with electrician's tape. Then attach the three connectors on the lower end of the replacement wire harness and screw the ground wire back into place. Now we will demonstrate how to replace the upper wire harness. Separate the connectors to the upper and lower wire harnesses. Next, remove the console and disconnect the wire harness and the pulse wire from the console. The console style might make a small difference in the procedure here. With this particular style, the wire harness plugs directly into the console. Many consoles have wires extending from them that connect to the upper wire harness at the top of the upright. At this point, you must snip off the connector on the top end of the upper wire harness. Leave the pulse wire as it is. Then tape the connector on the replacement wire harness to the old wire harness. You will be pulling the old wire harness down through the upright along with the new wire. You do not want them coming apart in the process, so tape them together securely. Once you have them taped together, begin pulling the old wire harness down through the upright until the replacement wire emerges. Remove the tape holding the two wires together. Discard the old wire harness and snap together the connectors on the new upper wire harness and the lower wire harness. Now attach the pulse wire and the new upper wire harness to the console and reattach the console to the upright. You are now ready to reattach the plastics that house the crank pulley. Replace the side shields, then replace the pedal discs on both sides of the elliptical. Next, replace the shield cover and the shield cover cap. And now you will reattach the arms and legs. Place the right hand upper body arm and leg back on the right hand axle on the upright. Make sure you have the bushing in its proper place. Next, place the right hand roller arm on the right hand crank axle. Make sure you have the bushings inside the end of the roller arm. Replace the screw and roller arm cover on the right hand crank axle. Using an Allen wrench, tighten down the roller arm to the crank axle. Now replace the screw and washer to the right hand axle on the upright. Using an Allen wrench, tighten down the upper body arm and leg into place. Then replace the plastic covers over the right hand axle on the upright. Follow the same steps in reattaching the left hand upper body arm and leg and the left hand roller arm to the elliptical. If you have any questions after watching this video, be sure to consult the replacement instructions that came with the replacement wire harness.